gonna have a bit of a chill out stream this evening.
The stream's not up, I don't think.
Says it's live.
Oh, yeah, there we are. I got you now. Takes a little while to kick in.
I'm just gonna stick that over there so I can keep an eye on it as well.
So what we're doing today then?
I don't know. Suggest things for me to draw, I suppose. Any thoughts?
I have no idea. Claire's in the chat.
We may have an Ed soon, and we also have a cat.
Oh,
Let's see
lovely.
if it turns up. Hello, the Dupus. Dupus, what should I draw? Have we got
More
anyone?
D&D.
Have we got anyone left? Or am I moving on to the Curse of Strahd? I have to open up the D&D drawing. Hmm.
You didn't save it.
I did not. So we did have a Puss 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 and I'm still trying to remember names. The Mushroom Lady.
This is a new character in our campaign, so I will just go in and check what their name is.
I may need to thank you, Dupus.
Oh, you beat me to it. I was almost there.
drawing this one from memory a little bit.
You know what I'm going to do while you're drawing that and monitoring the chat? I'm going to try and draw something as well.
Go for it. What you gonna draw?
I have no idea because I'm a noob. So I need to just sort of start with basics. Because I don't know what I'm doing. Be right back. I am going to go grab a pencil. I have and pencil.
Ideal.
Hello. We have a cat.
Hello.
We have a silent cat.
Is your mic working, cat? Maybe we should do the various stages of Vigo.
Yeah.
So, for those interested, Vigo is the character I played in Curse of Strahd, who went through various transformations throughout the campaign. So I'm trying to think of the different iterations of him now. So we had Genie Vigo, who turned into super powerful Genie Vigo, who was ended up being a secret boss. Um, we had Human Vigo, and then he sapped power from the Dayheart and became Young Vigo, and then finally Vampire Vigo.
All right, can you hear me now?
Hello.
Can.
Ah, there we go.
How are you?
Doing pretty well presently. I guess I kind of mourning the loss of a treasured friend for the past year or so, but otherwise, you know,
Yes,
said
this
friend was only $100 though, so
today's stream is dedicated to the memory of Kat's graphics tablet.
I don't know what happened. She just melted on me.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was the damnedest thing, like physically melted. I have safe for work stream. Sorry. The Yeah, it was the craziest thing. I have no idea what happened. I had thought the pen died because the express keys all still worked,
Hmm.
so I ordered a new pen. Turns out if I just turned the thing over, it would have saved me $20, but I didn't. So the new pen gets here. Spoiler, doesn't work. So I turn the thing over and see that the on off switch for the wireless is a little shinier and a different shape than I remember. It looks like at some point it melted and then rehardened. So
Oh dang.
I guess something went wrong with the electrics because it's like right by where the port is where you plug it in. And of course, as soon as I saw that, my brain said, "Oh, that's right. Didn't we smell burning for like 20 seconds a few days ago? And just thought we were having a stroke." It's like,
Oh
oh,
dear.
yeah. So I have no idea what happened, but RIP.
Not good.
But yeah, how's everybody else? And I
I'm
did
alright.
finally get my audio fixed to a. Oh my god. Oh my god, I lost my train of thought. Never mind. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
We all right? We all right.
All good in the hood.
So I heard a little bit about the varieties of Vigos.
Yes, but basically we had a bit of fun with Vigo. He was an evil character who started off. Yeah, he was a little bit homebrew. We set him up as being a genie, who one of the one of the other players was his master.
Mm-hmm.
So like he had the power to grant wishes, but um, the master couldn't tell anybody that I was a genie.
Oh, so like just parading as a person, or I'm assuming we're not talking like Aladdin Bright Blue Genie.
Well, he turned blue at one point, but yeah, I guess he just kind of looked like a human for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually he managed to get his vessel given to his vessel, by the way, rather than a lamp, was a magic knife.
Ooh, I like that.
And basically, in his pursuit of power, he got turned into a genie by Strahd. And because genies are generally quite powerful,
Mm-hmm.
and the only way for him to get his freedom would be to stab the master, like well, get the dagger to be willingly given to him, and then stab the previous owner.
Stabby stab.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's got a flavor that I really like.
So yeah, like at one point, because there's also a curse on the knife itself.
Oh, of course, you got to have a curse on the knife.
So if someone else came into possession of the knife or you lost it, then I forget. Dupus, remind me, what was the conditions of the knife curse? I think what would be a good head shape. I need to make him look old.
the VTube model, by the way.
Ah, thank you. Yeah, I finished it to the end of this week. I think about like actually no, mid of this week even. I'm really losing track of like what day is what.
Oh, what is time?
It is
Some,
but a construct.
yeah, my God, yeah. If quarantine has taught me one thing, it's time doesn't exist.
Mm.
Oh, I love this nose shape already.
Oh yeah, that was
They
also
can't they can't talk about it or what it does, and if they lose it, they know where it is and will want it back like crazy.
That sounds isolating.
but yeah, so he decided so he spent like much of the early campaign trying to firstly trying to convince the player character to make a wish because he was obviously being the kind of jerk he is. He was constantly trying to get the. Well, he would have. He was very much into the monkey's paw wishes.
They all seem to be after a certain point. I don't know if that's culturally insensitive towards the genie community. Very poetically vindictive.
Hmm.
Any fun examples of monkey's pawery?
Um, well, one of the ways that they tried to get around killing Strahd was to basically say, like all vampires become mortal. Is either mortal or human. But the thing is, because they gave this command in writing, and they wrote vampire with an I, whereas Strahd is vampire with a Y. So all the vampires in the castle became human,
Oh
but
God.
Strahd, on the other hand,
Well, technically, I love that.
there was another one we thought of at one point because one of our player characters, I think, lost the other one who got the knife the second time round. I think wished for some transformations initially, but then wanted to be. What was it like? They wanted to become how they were before entering the castle. And my interpretation of that was, well, when the player character was 3 years old, that was before they entered the castle.
Oh, oh that's cruel. So is this character that just permanently 3 years old?
Well, he didn't end up making the wish, so it didn't end up happening. Oh, but yeah, he asked for an invisibility cloak, which was invisible, but it was also made of a material that made very loud rustling noises when you moved.
Like a really loud chip bag or something?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
And a magic mask that ended up being made of paper.
Vigo sounds like kind of a jerk.
Oh, he was. That was what I was playing about him. He was just unapologetically a jerk.
That
But
sounds like so much fun though.
mm,
Just to play an absolute.
oh, it was like like actually it's a shame Ed's not here yet because Ed was one of the characters that I messed with the most, and it was quite funny because the other character who Corin was playing, which was yeah, I do have one picture of him already. I have a picture of him when he's sucking energy from the day heart. Let's see if I got it handy.
There's some great jowls on this old guy.
They gotta have good jowls when they're old. Where is that one? Maybe check one of the. So I'm just trying to find a folder.
It's trying to bring your attention to Discord.
Oh, that's a good point. Where's my? There he is. 1 second, because I'm gonna have to copy the image and.
Ooh, there's a lot of has-been energy in that art
Oh,
style.
that has been a little bit of the inspiration on that one. Like one of the things that I tend to do when I'm oh, it didn't copy the picture. One of my habits of when I decide to like want to vary up my style a little bit is basically steal then adapt. So I'll try and
Oh yeah,
figure out.
can't go wrong.
Sorry.
Said, oh yeah, can't go wrong.
So usually it's like I'll try and draw in a certain artist style that I like, and then bits and pieces that I like from it I'll take onto my own style. So at the
That's
moment
always
there's
fun.
mainly the eyes on that design.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I
Yeah,
can copy the
the
image.
very dramatic brow.
Is it gonna paste into the thing? There we are. Yeah, so that is Vigo. I'll see if I can shrink him down a bit. Yeah, that's when he was sapping power from the Dayheart, which is, I think, spoilers for Curse of Strahd for anyone who wants to play it. So I'll give you fair warning to vacate the stream if you haven't played it already. But do you mind spoilers for Curse of Strahd, Cat?
Doesn't bother me.
Okay, well the Dayheart is basically the source of Strahd's power.
Hmm.
So
Oh, Dayheart.
see if I can. Oh, let's get that out of the way. The initial thing that we used for the his picture on for his token in the game was have you watched Gravity Falls?
I know a lot of like bits and pieces from Gravity Falls from the internet. I'm sort of aware of like the energy about it, but I've never actually seen it.
Ah, you should. It's a really good show. But there's a
Yeah,
there's a character
it's
in
like.
it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, there's a character in one episode called Probabilitor, who was a wizard from D&D, basically.
Oh, I love that.
So we used that as the icon image for him.
Yeah, Gravity Falls is on that short list of shows that like I have no idea when, but will likely consume at some point.
It's a really
I don't know,
fun
I feel
show.
like yeah, I was listening to the Adventure Zone, I think, one of their seasons, and I know a lot of people made some comparisons of themes and stuff to sort of like small town Twin Peaksy kind of vibe. I'm probably butchering my paraphrase here, but Anyway, yeah, it's always looked like a show that I would enjoy. Like I like the art style. I've never actually sat down with it.
You know, I think
I
he'd.
love this guy's droopy eye.
Mm, I imagine he'd have a. Do you think he'd have a turban for his genie look?
The turban's rarely a wrong choice for a genie, I'd imagine.
I'm trying to think what we did, like how he was described when he did turn into a genie. I remember he could fly. Anyway, yeah, so he managed to trick. Well, because at one point the team got separated, and the original owner of the knife dropped said knife, and it ended up in the hands of Corin. And when the other character uh, came to get said knife back, I offered to hold on to it for him. So, because well, you know, like I've no use for it. I can't make wishes, so like the knife would be safe with me.
Mm-hmm.
Which amazingly he fell for and gave me the knife. So I let them two fight it out for a bit, and then when he asked for the knife back, or to like decide who gets the knife, I went up to him, gave him a quick stab.
Stabby stab.
Yep, stabby stabs, and
Stabby stab stabs.
Well, he didn't specify how he wanted it back.
hmm.
Oh,
Oh, what's up?
I think my phone about to turn itself off.
Oh,
It's nice that my computer is the thing that reminded me to charge it, and then the phone immediately.
Cassius, that was it. Yeah, and Cassius was the original owner, and Hildebrand was who acquired the knife, and then I stabbed. The funny thing is, like, even after I stabbed him, he still wasn't 100% sure whether Vigo was truly evil.
Still?
Yeah, mainly because I played it off as like, well, also the time I attacked the entire party as a secret boss. The reasoning being that, like, what I told them was that it was the curse kind of taking effect, so I wasn't in control. Whether or not that's actually true, I'm not going to reveal.
Oh my god, that's that's some top tier manipulative.
Oh, it was so
Ammunition.
fun.
Yeah.
Here's it. Because the other thing was, like, I kind of made a bit of a point of that I never lied about my intentions or what I was going to do. So like I straight up told people, was like, I'm gonna steal that money. Like
Just Babe Ruth in it
there
all
was
the
no
way.
like trying to hide anything. I was never like I wouldn't try and subtly take something. I'd be like, I'm gonna take that.
I tell you what,
Hmm.
listening in on these games, I would say it's my weekly podcast because it was more entertaining than most like soap operas.
Turban's gonna look a little bit like a Pope hat. Big old jewel in the middle, as they tend to have.
I just said that this is a Cuphead and great for it.
That's what it was. There's something in that face that my brain's like, oh, we've seen that before, and we like that. Couldn't remember where. Yeah, that I think it's the grin in the nose gives me big Cuphead vibes.
I'm trying to do a decent headgear. I'm not really keen on the giving him a turban.
The last hat looked a little bit like a Pope hat, and I kind of liked that.
Evil Pope.
I mean, you could argue that.
Evil
Fair
Pope
point.
be great to front like a novelty metal band. Which actually, I say that out loud and then remember that Ghost exists.
Ghost. Can't remember how to draw hands now.
Hands.
Hands, the bane of every artist. Hands and feet.
Hands, I feel like if I sit down to draw a hand, it will either go perfectly or embarrassingly poorly. I have no in between.
Mm.
Feet is oh no, the canvas ended there. Is usually what I do with feet.
Good plan. Very poorly drawn hands.
At this point, I am trying to draw a hand as well, and it is going really badly.
Why can't we all just
Love
have
the little
like?
thumb and forefinger you've got going on.
It's like why can't people just have like crab pincers? It'd make things so much easier. I mean, not for doing anything in like actually using them, but at least drawing them would be easy.
Well, if the world adapted to fit a crab claw population, that might not be so bad. Just trying to think of like what it would do to ergonomics and stuff.
Hmm.
So
I mean,
everything stays the same except just designed for crab claws now instead. Baseball bats would be hard.
and finger
Pianos would be
puppets.
difficult. Oh no.
I've just crossed it out and written terrible in the middle of it.
I'm probably going to skip past Human Vigo just because it's essentially it would just end up being Wizard Vigo again. Hand. It'd be just without the hat. Although I think he became a sorcerer at that point.
No hands. Hands are bad. Oh, I wonder what that noise was.
Ooh, we've got some Akira Toriyama eyes coming in here.
I should probably take this opportunity to say, hi, Mum, as my mum is tuned in right now.
Oh, is she?
Aww.
Oh, hey, Kaylee's mum. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Feel free to say hi in the chat.
I'm not sure if she's got an account or not.
sure about this one.
It looks so dastardly.
But not quite dastardly enough. You know, cut and paste into a different layer for now.
In the wrong direction.
That I like that shoulder shape.
Trying to think what to do with his hands now.
Something very complicated with like the ends of some of them together, but not all of them.
Yeah, in terms of like how his story kind of ended with the once we did eventually defeat Strahd, because it turned out Vigo's main motive for wanting ultimate power was because wizards had wronged him, and he wanted revenge.
Yes.
And but here's the thing: the reason the wizard, or like how he sees that the wizards deserved his wrath, was that they spelt his name with two G's instead of one.
That's beautiful.
And he uses ultimate power to basically summon like eldritch horrors just to kind of mildly inconvenience them, like taking coasters out from under drinks that will leave rings on tables, or just like knocking stuff off of counters.
That's beautiful. It's so. I mean, because anybody can take revenge and kill your enemies. He's like, no, you're going to live through this for a long time.
I'm not gonna lie. You are looking badass right now, Claire.
Hello, Ed.
Hey, Ed.
Hi. That is so freaking cool.
Thank you.
How long does that?
It's the various stages of Vigo.
Vigo. No, no, not Vigo. We must be done with Vigo.
You will
don't
never
like
be
me.
done with Vigo. You're on his list.
Don't make me take an oath of vengeance against you. I'll do it.
Yeah, Ed played Chester, who had a bit of a rivalry with
It wasn't so
Vigo.
much a rivalry. It was just more of a you were doing evil, and as a neutrally kind of good character, I just didn't want to stand by and just see like, hey, look at all this power I just got, and it's just like, no, no, you shouldn't be getting the power.
It was fun.
Oh, it was a good laugh, especially when me and Corin chained you up. We were just like, okay, let's get to the bottom of it, and you're just like, I'm just gonna do it anyway. So,
Like I was saying earlier, it's like the approach that I took with Vigo was the fact that like I don't think I ever lied as Vigo. I was always upfront about what my intentions were.
hmm, I think that's true. I think you were very upfront about the whole thing. Oh dear, how's everybody though?
We're good.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I'm actually really shattered from work.
You seem a bit
Since I'm
busier
now,
today.
it's not even that. Just I'm so used like with yourself, just to stand on a door, for 4 hours. But now I'm actually moving around all the time. I this week has wiped me out, and I've just had 2 weeks off, of course. So coming back to work and I'm like, hey, you now got to do all this walking. It's like, oh, you're kidding me. But it's yeah, and the heat. The heat is just so bad.
So there we go. We have the various stages of Vigo.
Oh, cool. I have some Unicorn Edition Jammy Dodgers. Would that make
Ooh.
Vigo turn better?
I've got up on my shelf. I have a can of unicorn meat.
Wow. I never thought I'd hear that in the same sentence.
Hang on a sec. Can I get a picture of it? Is the thing. You know, I
You
can
can always.
I could probably find it on the internet.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I've got my laptop in front of me and watching the stream, so let me. Oh wow! I typed in Can Yoon and it was just like, did you mean this? Oh wow! Look at that! What the hell?
the Radiant Farms unicorn meat.
Yeah. What the hell is that? Oh, that's interesting. That was I'd never even knew that existed.
It's pretty fun.
That wow. I'm actually quite a big fan of unicorns, so oh dear. Terrible.
Alright,
But it was
right, what else should we draw tonight?
Ooh, that's the real thing. I can't get over how well this YouTube stuff looks.
Ah, thank
That
you.
looks
Took me about a week to make. Like, oh, she has expressions. If I want to change them, so we got the this is obviously the neutral one, and got eye tracking a bit, but I can be happy. So I got a big old smile on my face, or I can be really angry because someone has annoyed me. Uh, this is apparently
Oh.
very happy, and then they're sad, just very very sad.
Oh no. So
oh,
sad.
that's so cute.
Now I can set up to do that auto, like at the moment I'm doing it through pushing buttons, but I can set it up to track my face and it will do it that way. But it was a bit too sensitive because it kept like going into expressions when I didn't mean it to.
All right.
So I'm sticking to using the manual controller.
Damn. And is that just is it so like you're sat in front of the webcam kind of thing, and then
Hmm.
is it just does it place the image over yourself? Is that how it works?
Not quite. Basically, because like it's not showing any video of me. It's
No.
just the camera's picking like it's using a video of my face taken from the camera,
Yeah.
and basically it's using like a bit of facial recognition to kind of figure out, that's where your eyes are, that's where your mouth is. So this is the way you're kind of looking, and
Well,
it
for
just basically operates like a puppet.
yeah, of course.
Doesn't have hand movement at the moment though, which is
That's
why I'm
fair.
using this thing at the bottom here so I can.
You can get away with it.
Although there is something you can get called a leap motion, which does do hand tracking, and then I will be able to do stuff with the hands, which I'm contemplating.
Ooh. See, the VTuber that I watch a lot on Twitch, they don't have any of the hand movement, but they got like the eyes, the head movement, and all that. Damn.
Yeah, you can do quite a bit with it.
Yeah.
And
I
plus,
still got.
oh,
So,
sorry.
I was saying I still got your the link you sent me, so I will
Yeah,
take a look at it.
yeah. I sent if anyone wants to try VTubing but doesn't want to like isn't too bothered about the model being completely custom made, you can try Vroid, which is like you pick and choose the features and kind of adjust it. You can make one that way. It will be a very anime character. Which like for my one, I wanted something that was a bit more my style, so I basically designed, built, and rigged the entire thing.
Wow.
That's
It
really
took
impressive.
her weeks. She was glued to the screen the entire time. Like she'd come home from work and that'd be the first thing she'd do, is switch on the computer, sit at the computer until like the middle of the night. And then I think this went on for just under 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was about
And
2 weeks, I think.
and like she's done a really good job.
Yeah, I like how
Absolutely.
she turned out. Because like to be honest, when I started on the project, it was one of those things where I thought it might come out quite like okay-ish, but maybe not like spectacular. But it came out a lot better
I
than I
don't.
thought, and was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
Absolutely.
Because like I thought building the thing plus the rigging plus like because you can't do anything with it in Blender to turn it into a VTube avatar, I had to take it into Unity, which is like a game engine, a program I had never used before.
Jeez.
And I had to basically just like watch through a bunch of video tutorials on like this is how you do this, and here we are.
Wow.
So I could even particularly know Blender that well before I started. Like I've been
Yeah, I
trying
remember.
because this project's been very handy for that because like I hadn't really like I had Blender installed and I'd been running through a few simple tutorials, but that was about it. But with this, it was because I think since I had a goal in mind, I basically just like watched a whole load of tutorials on how you build the avatars and just built it from there.
Nice.
So I suppose that means with like the business probably could open up commissions for VTube avatars now. Wink, wink. Hang on,
Oh, hell yeah.
hang on a sec.
Yeah.
I need to adjust some settings real quick.
Yeah, of course, yeah, take your time.
Wink, wink. So that's this is because now I've turned on the. I might have to take off my glasses because it does not like my glasses. But this is with the non-auto wink turned on. 'Cause through the stream so far, I've just had it's set to automatically do it. So because I can close my eyes, can wink. The only problem is like I found if I look down, it also blinks. Oh wait, no, it didn't do it that time. Oh no, there it goes. I'm going to put it back onto automatic for now so it doesn't keep blinking at the wrong time. Seems to be a little bit of a delay on them.
I do love the little bit of asymmetrical blink.
Don't know why it's doing it so asymmetrically. It might just be might just be the lighting. It's having issues picking me up entirely. Let's give her back the auto blink for now. Be something I work on later. For some reason, I haven't figured out how to get eyebrow movement yet, though. It'd be nice if I could get the eyebrows to move up and down. Anyway, what should be the next thing on the drawing challenge?
What all the Vigos would look like if they fused into one Super Vigo.
I don't even know what that would look like. Horrifying, probably.
Yeah, I don't know if it would be like a Dragon Ball fusion or like a Voltron type of thing. Like one Vigo is like one limb. Oh, I love this mouse shape already.
I have to throw up my other drawing a second somewhere. Can I throw this into another window? Oh yes, I can. Ideal. I hear someone talking about top hats. What's that all about?
Top man, it's a buddy of mine. Oh, mate, you can hear that actually. That's like it's really, really
Oh.
quiet for me.
I was
That must
wondering
be
what that
coming.
was.
Yeah, that's me. Don't mind me. I'm multitasking like a true boss right now. I'm so sorry about those. Oh, dear me. There we go. I'm done with the old multitask. Because I recently I changed my setup. So instead of I used to have like a what I can only describe as like a unit where I would like store DVDs and stuff. I've since got rid of that. I now have a corner desk in my room. So I now can have like my laptop to one side, my phone on another side. I've got my Xbox Series X and all that. So it's like all nicely laid out. So what you were hearing was just literally through my laptop.
Ah, fair enough.
L desks are fucking great, though. Oh, sorry. It's one of these days I'll remember. Apologies.
It's okay. It's just it's
Yeah.
nice. I used to have my laptop on like I don't know how the best way to describe it. It's like just like a storage box. So I used to have my laptop like quite to my left, and then I'd have my TV and everything to the right. So it was always like looking back and forth. But now I can just like look at my TV and I'm like, oh, like there's my laptop. Like I could be watching a video on a game I'm playing or watching podcasts or something and just still
My,
be gaming.
my favorite thing is to have more than one monitor, and then I can do whatever I like on one screen and game on the other. Perfect. I don't play consoles or anything.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I like this layout so far. We are Vigo.
You are like the buzzing of flies to him.
Well, I like the buzzing of flies in that ear. Hearing's not so good in that one anymore.
I feel like I recognize all that.
Hmm?
Where's that from?
What, the line?
That's yeah, it's from something
Ghostbusters
in
2.
I feel like it's in something different because I haven't seen Ghostbusters 2.
Oh, it sounds like something's probably been referenced all over the place.
Yeah, probably is. I've heard it
Yes,
somewhere.
Vigo. You are like the buzzing of flies to him.
Boop, boop, beep, doop.
big on the screen for me to give him his hat. And there, I think we have the terrifying amalgamation of Vigos.
I
No,
love it.
Vigos.
I love the hat kind of flopped over a little bit.
Pretty spooky.
I like to think that there's a whole multiverse of Vigos.
Like the further to the left he goes, the less happy he is about the arrangement.
It is a bit. Give him a collar on his lumpy neck. So what do you think next? What do people want?
Ooh. Who knows? Like, I mean, is there a character, like another character you particularly like, or
What about Eyes in the Dark?
whose eyes in the dark?
You haven't met Eyes in the Dark yet.
I
I believe that's your
definitely.
tabaxi detective, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is such a cool name. I feel like you need your own TV show. Eyes in the Dark. I'm here to solve the murder at the manor.
It's a tabaxi name. Their names are very sort of tribal, so like water under the river and
Yeah.
things like that. So I thought Eyes in the Dark would be perfect for a detective.
That's a
I
great
feel
detective name. I love that.
Yeah, same. I love it as well. I feel like if I was going to play at the backseat, I would just not do nothing. I'd just be like, rolls over and fluffs my tail.
You'll meet Eyes in the Dark one day.
I look forward to it. You'll get to meet my original character as well at some point. Who I totally did not base off a real person.
Female tabaxi, am I right?
Sorry?
Female tabaxi as well, am I right?
Yeah, she is. Circle's my weakness.
Oh, that's such a good half lid.
Remember, she smokes the cigar.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to kind of fit that in.
Yeah.
I suppose I could put it in her hand. Don't you wear a hat?
She does have a trilby with a red band.
I'm gonna have to Google Trilby a sec. Like, I know roughly what they look like, but it's always handy to have something to work off of.
Yeah. I also have the reference that I made as well, which doesn't want to copy and paste from OneDrive into Discord for some reason.
So I'm just gonna minimize that.
I have pasted into Discord.
Yeah, that's a good point. Probably would be good to have your picture as well.
Just drawn the worst wheel I've ever seen. She looks tired. She's like, there isn't enough coffee on these streets.
Just thoroughly over it.
It was another old warm night in Plymouth when she walked in. Red hair, blue face, yellow eyes, and legs that went on for days.
Love it.
I get the impression she probably would have rings under her eyes because they say she's
I like to imagine that she's got a hip flask full of whiskey.
True detective right there.
Oh yeah.
A hip flask full of whiskey and no time for any nonsense.
Absolutely.
was about to say what type of coat would she be wearing, but
A trench coat.
hmm. Undo that.
I've shown you what she's wearing in the next screenshot there. Cause she a badass.
What are you doing, pretty cat? What are you doing?
Oh, have you been graced by a cat?
Yeah, she's on my
We can
window,
have
but
a picture
she was
for a long
sat
time.
up, and then she just got up and turned around really quickly, and now she's just staring at my window. Something out there she wants. Just staring at it.
What's like normal height for a tabaxi?
They are sort of like a medium height, according to 5E. Let me just see the official description here. Tabaxia are taller on average than humans and relatively slender. Your size is medium.
Oh no! I've been picturing like Puss in Boots from Shrek size this whole time.
It's alright because Puss is
Puss was
pretty
just a
much.
child, so she
Oh,
probably is about
okay.
that size.
Okay. I was like, oh no.
I should note my anatomy isn't very good.
I mean, real talk, your ability to just bust out basic shapes that look good is basically a superpower as far as my eyes are concerned.
It looks awesome. I'm here learning to draw in the back, like looking at this going, I'm never going to be this good.
It's a lot of line confidence, and I admire that.
Yeah, I have to say, like, Claire showed me some of your anatomy drawings, and I was just like, wow. Like, honestly, like, you've got anatomy down.
The downside of that is, like, again, I'm beyond impressed by anybody who can just design a simple shape that looks good and looks right. Like, if I won't lie, it feels good to like know anatomy and a bunch of that stuff, but also some of it's like my brain won't let me do anything unless it feels like, all right, we have to understand how everything works, otherwise we just can't start.
Fair.
So yeah, I've been kind of quiet today because I'm just over here just trying to like absorb your process. Also, thank you, by the way. I didn't mean to just swat away a kind word. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's alright. I know we're all our own worst critics.
I got told that by an old man who expressed some wisdom after I played at an open mic night. And he said to me, you're pretty good. And I said, no, I'm not. And he said, we're all our own worst critics.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
And I've always remembered that. I always remember the exact location of the exact pub.
Love it.
Oh, wrong pen.
Love the motion of the coat.
It's awesome.
Did I actually set this up to... I did. I just spent all that time pressing shortcuts to get it to rotate when I realised my little autopilot thing already has that set up to be done.
Ta-da!
Oh yeah, one thing to get, like I recommend to some artists is like I refer to them as co-pilots, where it's basically a little box with dials and stuff on it that you can assign functions basically. So if you have like specific ones you use a lot, it saves you having to constantly trying to memorize shortcuts, because I think that's what helped me get through learning Blender so quickly, was that rather than using all the shortcuts or like Control P, Control whatever thing, I just assigned them to buttons on this little controller thing, and just a quick boom, right, that does the undo, that does the make the thing.
Smart.
Yeah, that does sound a lot easier to digest. Like when you've placed the buttons specifically where they are and everything, not having to deal with control this, shift that.
I mean, I just can't believe, in the space of a week, because we were literally only talking about it not too long ago, and
That tends to be my process, that it's like I cannot learn anything until there's
yeah,
something I want to use it for. So
makes
like
sense.
I've been trying to learn Blender, but just could not sit myself down and do it. But then like this week it was, or like 2 weeks ago, it was like, you know what, I want to build a VTube avatar.
I
And
mean, if you do end up taking commissions for VTubes, art, and all that, hell yeah, I'll be coming to you like, yep, I know what I want.
it'd probably have to kind of be in my style if you do.
Oh yeah. I'm not looking for like super, like you see some of them. There's like, it's just awesome and amazing. Like I'm not worried about that for a startup one, because I might not like it. Like I might do it once or twice and then think, not really
Yeah,
my
because like
cup
the
of tea.
reason like I wanted to make mine myself was just because, well, like I say, like all the ones I've seen have been uh, very anime inspired, and it was like, well, I'll try for it. Like, also I have my own specific style, and like if I was going to do a VTuber, it was going to be in that style.
Of course.
Trying to figure out how to. I need something thicker than a pen to kind of like hold for reference.
How thicker than a pen?
Just have a box of cigars lying around.
Yeah.
Next to the computer.
Lipstick.
Yeah, that's right. I think I got it.
Okay. Yeah, that looks good.
So what's everyone else doing this evening then?
I'm drawing circles.
I feel like I want to ask why.
Because I can't draw.
Everyone
Is one
can
of the.
draw.
I was gonna say, is this one of those I can't draw, but your art is like out of this world?
Oh, believe me, it's not. I can't draw circles, so I saw somewhere that I should practice drawing circles. So I'm just drawing a load of circles.
Is that like pen to paper kind of thing, or have you got like an app or?
I'm doing it on paper.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. What a way to spend your Thursday evening.
I
I like
Sounds
to
like a
just
good.
draw a bunch of circles sometimes. But it's a nice sort of relaxing warm up too. Sort of just get you loosening your body and stuff. And also you get better at circles.
I'm not.
Absolutely.
I've drawn lots of circles, but they still don't look very circular.
Can't be that bad. I'm on Minecraft at the same time.
Oh, what you building?
Since my brother's feeling a little bit off, we've decided to create another, like a new world. And so at the moment, I'm currently fashioning a house.
Nice. I built a jungle in a cave the other
I
day, or finished it today.
still can't believe your Minecraft world that you will have on PC. That's off the chart.
Kaylee's Minecraft world is insane.
It is, honestly.
It's a joint effort, but the town like that I've built is all mine, apart from the embassy buildings. I've given people like 16 by 16 plots to build embassies in my town. But the rest of it's mine.
See,
So,
my oh, go
I
on,
was gonna say, so far the only thing I've really built that's of like substantial size in Minecraft is the because when they set me up there was also the Ender, is it an Ender portal? Is it called?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, the Nether portal.
the Nether portal, which I turned into the rooftop temple from Ghostbusters.
Nice.
That's pretty damn good.
I'm very fond of Ghostbusters, as most people know. It's like
Wait a minute, I didn't know this about you. Yeah, of course. Nah, I was gonna say, me and my gaming kind of group, what we plan to do later on when we get like a bit more bigger is do like Minecraft competitions where, you know, we kind of give you all the materials you want or need, and then give you like an hour or two, and whoever builds the best house will get like some sort of a reward.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's fun.
Oh, that's good. It's gonna be so much fun. I can't wait to do
when you're
stuff
planning
like that.
that.
I'm not 100% sure when. Like I said, at the moment, our like gaming company isn't really big. I mean, we're all getting there slowly but surely, but it's a long process. This isn't like a month or 2 month thing. No, this is potential what we'll do for careers in like a couple of years time.
Oh yeah, it's all about the slow build.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I managed to hit Twitch affiliate in 1 month. And now I'm just literally building up my content and my viewers and stuff like that. And yeah, that's pretty good.
Nice.
But yeah, it's just such a long process. I haven't actually streamed in like a month now. It's really bad. I do need to get myself back into it.
I really want to get streaming, but I haven't got a baseable place.
What would you stream if you had the chance?
I would stream Minecraft, whatever MMO I'm playing, and Elite Dangerous. Yeah, I think that's about it. What else have I got installed on here? I don't know if I'd stream Civ, because Civ's pretty boring to watch, as it's quite slow.
It's like it's slow in the beginning, but then once you've got your army, that's when the excitement begins.
Yeah. I used to stream Guild Wars 2 and Diablo 3.
Alright.
What
See, those are the
else?
type of strategy games I'd love to play, but they're just not on Xbox.
Which ones?
Like Civs. Well, tell lies, Civs is actually slowly coming, but
Yeah, Civ. I can't imagine Civ being great on a console. Maybe it could be, because I mean, you don't need that many controls.
I mean, I have Civ 6 for Xbox One. I just
Oh,
have not
really?
really played it. Yeah, came out last year sometime.
Oh, I've got Gathering Storm of Civ 6.
That's
It's quite good,
yeah,
but Civ 5 has always been my sort of favorite.
yeah.
It's one
See,
of those things.
we had 4, I think it was that was like the first one.
See, I tried to go to 4 back from 5, because 5 is when I
Oh,
got into it, and I couldn't deal with it. I was just like, no.
yeah, of course.
I can never go backwards. I can only go forwards. It's like
Never
Fallout.
look back. It distracts from the now.
Yeah. See, Fallout 4 is my favorite because I've tried to play the other ones. They've just not hooked me. Whereas everyone will always say that New Vegas is their favorite, and I'm like, well, I tried it, but
See, I really
Fallout
like
4 is
3.
what got me.
3 was
Three
my
was
favorite.
3 was my big one, but 3 was also the first one that I played. And I
Yeah,
think
maybe it's that. It could be the same for everyone.
because I had kind of a similar experience with New Vegas. Like on one hand, I don't know, it was strange because I was like, I feel aware that I'm playing a better Fallout than the last one, but it still just feels like I'm playing a slightly better version of the one I already played.
I just felt like I was in the desert for like ages, getting bored, and I was like, and then when Fallout 4 came out, I was hooked.
See, I just didn't go much on New Vegas. Just didn't go much on it.
I
Then
tried
I
a huge Skyrim mod called Enderal, and I was streaming that, and I rage quit. I was like, that's it. I can't play this. This is obviously too hard for me.
Skyrim, what a game!
I love Skyrim. I was a vampire lady.
Ooh, very nice.
I love how moddable it is as well. Same with Fallout 4.
Yeah.
So moddable.
See,
I
I'm
had
so
a
glad. Go on.
I had a really intense few months with Skyrim, like back when it came out, but then I just have never played it since. I loved it the whole time through, but I feel like I'm the only person I know that has never played Skyrim a second time.
I saw loads of people on Facebook going on about it when it first came out, and I was like, oh, like everyone thinks it's good, maybe I should just give it a go. And it's one of those, like, because I've been playing games my whole life, but it was one of those games where I stuck it on, and then I was like, why is the sun coming up?
Yep. Oh, absolutely. My college roommate and I, we had like ordered our copies, and both of us had decided just not to go to class that day, and it was like a little Christmas in what was it, September, November, whenever it came out. And yeah, that's a game that eats up a lot of time.
I remember
Not
it
like
quite
the WoW
well,
way, but like the
purely because I was raiding Firelands at the time. So I booted it up. I was like, right, cool, the game works. Now I've got to go and raid Firelands. So I went off to raid Firelands, and I thought, afterwards, I thought, right, okay, like just finish the raid. I'll give it a couple minutes, just try the beginning up. And then it was the morning. Like it's just
I'm just going to make
it'll
it.
do that.
Hmm.
What class were you playing when you during Firelands?
warrior. Fury
Mm,
warrior. Single-minded fury warrior.
I remember what the tier set looked like then.
It
Most
was fiery. I didn't like the look of it, to be honest.
well, yeah, was that the one that was like just rocks with some like fiery lava color in between?
Yeah, pretty much. But I think it was also around the time that transmogrification came in. So
Yeah.
I mogged out like straight away.
Say, I was a paladin during Firelands, but I never got the shoulders.
I
It's one thing
don't mind the paladin set actually. I thought the
I
paladin set
really
was like,
it broke my heart that I wasn't able to get the whole thing because I
yeah,
loved
that's
the
a shame. I
honestly I
got
liked all the pally sets and
I love the paladin sets. I actually try to always get the lookalike sets for my warrior. So
mhm,
my warrior is usually in paladin tier 10, which is the Ice
the
Crown Citadel.
Lightbringer.
I think so, yeah, it's like purple.
Yeah,
Uh,
because it's got like the battle skirt and the ICC was like when I had just started playing WoW, so like I wasn't raiding yet, but I saw like everybody running around in the fancy armor and stuff.
I loved ICC. People
I
always slam Wrath of the Lich King, but for me, Wrath of the Lich King was one of my faves.
Wrath of the Lich King is kind of my golden age of WoW. Ironically enough, considering most of the time I played was during Cataclysm. As I love Wrath of the Lich King.
I'll just send you a link. That's what my warrior has looked like for years in the ICC Paladin set.
Tyria the Insane. Yep. Oh, that takes me back. Oh man.
I love that set. It's fantastic.
It was a simpler time.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
Now the game's just too heavy and saturated, which is why a lot of us have gone over to Final Fantasy XIV, and I'm loving it. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, Claire was talking to me about it the other day, and I don't know. I've actually been thinking about checking it out a little bit.
Well, if you check it out on the EU servers, you know where to go.
Yep. Oh yeah.
You know you got friends.
Claire has given me all the info.
And I promise you, my character's not going to be racist against any races that you choose in game.
All right, I'm detecting a pattern.
She's a cat girl, so.
As soon as I heard that the bard has a playable instrument.
Oh, I know, me too. I had no interest in bard whatsoever until I was walking through the city. Hang on a minute. Like, what's happening here?
That's so good.
So I'm leveling archer in my off time. I'm a white mage first, archer second.
You can find my old WoW character.
You can play instruments in Guild Wars 2, by the way. I have a bass guitar and a bell, and you can play tunes on them.
That's super fun. I feel like I would spend a lot of time in just Common City just playing songs.
Pretty much. It's not as good as the Guild Wars one's not as good as Final Fantasy, because Final Fantasy give you a full keyboard, whereas on Guild Wars you have 3 octaves depending on your instrument. Some have 2, some have 1, and you have to switch between the octaves each time in order to press the different notes, and there aren't any minor notes, and it's really annoying. So everything you do has got to be in major. Yeah, it's a shame. Whereas Final Fantasy gives you a full keyboard.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait until I get to level 30. You've got to be level 30, but it's going to be great.
What's the level cap?
Good question. I've not reached it. Final Fantasy level
I can get a feel for how far in 30 is.
Players can... Oh. So at the moment it is 80, and then it goes up to 90 in the new expansion that's coming out soon. I'm level 40 on my white mage, but you can level any class you like with the same character. So I got to level 15, and I was like, oh, I can train ranger archer now. So I went over to the Archers Guild and started learning that. So depending on which weapon you equip, you're a different class. So I could just put on a bow, and all of a sudden I'm an archer, level 1.
No rolling a new character and devoting all those hours again.
Yeah, pretty much. You just devote it all to one character. You can re-roll if you want more characters, but You don't have to either. You can pick up all the professions
Be a jack
and
of all
all
trades.
and all the classes all under one character. And you can switch between them in an instant. She's looking awesome. You flipped her around.
I flipped the canvas.
Ah,
No.
Yes,
give it a
yes.
It's always the
I
hold your breath moment when you flip the canvas for the first time.
I have not fallen into the same sins as Claire of not flipping her canvas.
I'm gonna flip the picture I drew to see if that looks funny. I mean, they look funny anyway, but rotate
Right.
mirror.
I'm gonna jump. It's been a pleasure.
That actually looks better almost.
Are you off to bed?
Yeah, well, I'll probably plot around for like my usual, but yeah, I won't be too long.
Well,
Nice.
thanks for joining the stream.
Thanks for
No worries.
joining.
No, thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure.
I look forward to seeing what the next stage of your development is on this. And I just look forward to the day you say, "Yep, I'm open for commissions, and I'll be number one." Hopefully,
Awesome.
I'll catch you. Hopefully,
next thing is I have to figure out what my pricing is gonna be.
but you know how long it took, how much effort, all the bits and pieces. So, and like I said, I'll be going for a female one as well. So that's fine by me. But
I suppose the
Okay.
more you did it, the quicker you would get, because you sort of learn all the tricks, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I think I know what I'm gonna be doing for like the eyes next time because had a little bit of a thing with the eyes. Like, oh yeah, it doesn't do it automatically. Because of how Blender works, the eyelids were kind of going, like they were clipping through the eyeball. So luckily at this speed it's not really noticeable, but if I had it slowed down, they're really quite noticeable.
cool. Right. Well, all the best, everyone.
Yeah, good night, Ed. I'll probably see you at work
Yes,
tomorrow.
no.
Yeah, I'll try to be crafty and stop by, and we'll have a little chat, catch up. Been ages. But all right, everyone, take it care.
Catch you
See you
soon. Probably
soon.
Sunday.
Yeah, we've
No
got
worries.
D&D Sunday, remember?
We'll see if it goes ahead.
I'm sure it will.
No worries, then, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Cheers.
What time is it? Oh, I'm running a little bit over, but then also started late, so it's alright.
Oh, that's. I went and tried to look up my old WoW character, and I guess I seem to remember my account being banned long after I'd stopped playing, so I imagine I got like hacked and turned into a bot or some shit. But
Oh,
that is kind of disappointing. I was hoping I could pull up my paladin. My paladin was wearing the tier 13, the feathers and the jewels and stuff, like the black and purple.
oh yeah.
Yeah, and I loved that set. It's not that I would ever log back into WoW, but it's kind of disappointing that I can't.
I
At least
cancelled my sub like a little while back. Just I wasn't playing it. I've been playing Classic. Burning Crusade just come out. I've been waiting for so long for Burning Crusade, and I've just not bothered. I'm too stuck in with Final Fantasy now.
Yeah, I can imagine, especially since Final Fantasy is more of this era.
Yeah.
So once WoW Classic creeps forward enough, are they going to have to do a WoW Classic Classic to
I
go back to
expect
back?
maybe. Although what they are doing is they will at the moment, because the Burning Crusade has come out, you can choose whether or not you want to stay on vanilla or go on to Burning Crusade. You get that
Oh,
option
see,
when
I
you
love that.
yeah. So they're keeping both, and then in a couple years time, I would expect Wrath of the Lich King to come out, and that is what I'm looking forward to. Like I did Burning Crusade, and I missed out a bit of it because I didn't really proceed very far. But Wrath of the Lich King, I got to experience all of that, and I loved it.
Yeah, that's not a bad point. Because Rise of the Lich King is like where most of my good memories of the game are.
Yeah, same.
That was like the time for me when it was still a game and not something I was doing to like avoid my emotions and things I should be dealing with in my daily life during college.
The community was so much better as well. Like the forums, the old forums were they were my ground for for chatting. Like I was always on the forums to the point where like a few years later I was in a dungeon on an old character with an old name that I used to use on the forums, and someone said, "Oh, we've got a server celebrity with us," and I was like, "Oh my god, someone remembered me."
I love that. Yeah, I don't have a lot of like braggable WoW things, but essentially the thing that kept me playing after I had stopped having fun was I was the 6th best geared paladin on my server.
That's awesome.
It was not the 6th best paladin, but it was the 6th best geared. But like, yeah, it was really cool. And then after a while, it was like, oh, what was it? WoWProgress.com, I think was the
Oh yeah.
website. I would just find myself like every week after raid, just like anxiously checking to make sure I hadn't gone down. I was like, is this how I want to be thinking about this game that
See,
I play for?
I was clinging on to Wrath of the Lich King for a very long time after it finished, and I had a bunch of level 80 twinked out characters, and I held certain records um, with those characters
Nice.
for soloing level 80 content at level 80, and also DPS rankings. Because in Cataclysm, when all the sort of when all the level 85s went back to ICC to get their heroics and all that, of course I
I
tagged
did
along
that.
with them on my level 80 mage, and because of the scaling, having a few Cataclysm bonuses as well, because there was also a trinket you could get which was for level 85s but equipable at 80. My mage did more damage than the level 85s.
Oh, I bet that felt good. I mean, for you,
It was
not for
great
them.
because I held like a number one spot on WoW Progress. Was it WoW Progress, or there was one of the WoW trackers that would track like damage rankings for each boss, and I held number one for quite some time until DPS levels actually went up higher. A few tiers later, but at the time, like my level 80 was better than a level 85 on those bosses.
Yeah, say at that point, even if someone else takes the spot later, it's like, yeah, you've already proven what you need to prove.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I held this for long enough. I'm happy.
Yeah, I was frustratingly not good at my role despite being in a raiding group that was good enough to, finish heroic Dragon Soul. But we had two paladin healers, and there was one who was a lot less geared than I was. He would always out heal me, and I was really self conscious about it, and it was a whole thing.
Healing is a funny one because people get really snobby on the heals, but you have to take into account that they might be overhealing. Like if your meter's not equating for overheals, then like they'll just shoot up ahead and there'll be no point. Or you'll have like a druid AoE healing everyone, keeping them constantly topped off, and you sort of sit there like, what should I do right now? And you want to take the big damage. I remember
Yeah.
when disc priests became bubble healers, because they weren't always bubble healers. The damage meters weren't ready for bubble healers. So I had someone like really snobby going, "Oh, you've not done any healing. You've not done any healing," and there I was with Skada going, "Actually, if you equate for my absorbs as well, you will see that actually I've done double damage mitigation and healing. You're welcome."
So you did more healing, but who did more healing that actually helped?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't miss the attitudes
Oh no,
of,
some of the attitudes.
and just people you'd run in, even people just run into like in randoms would. I mean, I'm sure we were all mid to late teens, early 20s, and little to no emotional awareness, and just wanted to scream it out at somebody doing something wrong. But like,
My favorite thing was because every time I went into those random dungeons, I would be with players that just weren't pulling their weight. So I started to go in wearing like silly items. So like my warrior, I'd go in wearing the level 70 warglaives, and people are like, "Oh, warrior, you forgot to change your weapons." And I'm like, "No, I haven't." And they were like, "But they're for level 70s, and we're like level 90s." And I went, no, that's fine. And I would be at the top of the meter. Just or my priest, I would go in healing with a witch's hat from level 70.
see, that's how you do it. That's more fun.
Yeah, see, I
Just
used to just have fun.
a little bit of silliness instead of like, just now I could use my success as a cudgel and hit all of you with it.
Absolutely. I quite liked when they brought in time walking, because it meant that my old gear was actually usable again. Because when they did time walking, they would like on a weekend they'd go, "Okay, you can do some level 80 dungeons now," and you get scaled down. So when you get scaled down, any armor that you've got from that period will get scaled, will be with you. So like
Oh, so all of
say
your tier stuff would be relevant again?
yeah, pretty much. So say you had like say you had like full tier 10 heroic gear from Ice Crown Citadel, but you were level 90 or whatever it was, and your level 90 gear was mediocre at best. If you went down to that level 80 dungeon, you could put on that gear and do so much more than you would have been able to with the current stuff. And I thought that was great. Absolutely great. I started ripping around with Shadowmourne again, and it was so much fun.
That is really cool. No, I really like that. It's like, oh, hello, other fish. Welcome to my small pond. When did time walking come in? Because I don't think I was I have I don't think that was ever a feature at any time that I played.
I think maybe Legion. So
Yep.
maybe around the sort of level 100 range, possibly. Because I always knew my gear sucked at level 100. I lost the will to raid like years ago. But I lingered around just because friends, like most of
Yeah.
my friend group was on the internet. So, I mean, it still is, but still. Introvert life.
Yep. Yup.
Yes.
How many expansions have there been since? I think Pandaria was the last time that I played. God.
Oh, okay. So there was Warlords of Draenor, which was the one where you go back to sort of Outlands before the Shattering.
Mm-hmm.
There was Legion, which was back on Azeroth with the Burning Legion again. Then there was Battle for Azeroth, which was back on the old Horde versus Alliance sort of thing. And then now we're on Shadowlands, which I haven't bought. That's the first expansion that I've not bought.
I'm impressed that WoW is still kicking. Like,
I mean, it's still going strong. It's just a lot of people are starting to get bored. Like Classic's going really well. In fact, Classic's brought back a lot of players, and that's keeping them going. But it is starting to get to a point now where people are starting to find new things.
when did Vanilla WoW come out? I mean,
2005, possibly.
yeah,
Vanilla.
that's
Wow, let's find out. Oh no, this is World of Warcraft Classic. That's World of Warcraft. No, stop. Just show me Warcraft video games. World of Warcraft 2004.
17. That's an impressive run.
Oh yeah. So Shadowlands, people told me Shadowlands was quite good to start with. I'm not sure how it's holding out.
Well, based on my limited WoW memory, anybody saying a WoW expansion is good out of the box sounds unusual to me. Of course, I also played through one of the, because Cataclysm was like the first one that people sort of widely saw as a step back, wasn't it? Or am I just
I didn't
misremembering?
like Cataclysm that much. So Cataclysm came after Lich King.
Mm-hmm.
The first tier I rated as a hunter. It wasn't that great. Second tier, back on my warrior again. I loved Firelands. I really did like Firelands. And then the third tier was Deathwing.
I hated
I
Dragon Soul so much.
It was awful.
And
Absolutely awful.
that was the one where we rated the most and got the furthest, and it was the least fun I had ever had
It
playing
was
WoW.
terrible. And I remember, in fact, something came up in my Facebook memories the other day, and it was a quote, and it said, "Hey, who remembers Deathwing?" Me neither. like prior to that, all the expansions were like Illidan. Yes, Illidan. We remember Illidan. And then
You
it
are
was
not
like,
prepared.
yeah, and then it was Lich King. Oh yeah, we remember Lich King from Warcraft 3. Like, this is awesome. And then it was Deathwing. Who's Deathwing?
Maybe like new phone. Who dis?
He was in the lore, to be fair, but like it wasn't that, you know. But I suppose it did wreak a lot of havoc on Azeroth. But then we decked him, and that was it.
Yeah.
What was next? Pandas. I was like, oh, I thought Mr. Pandaria was going to be awful. When I saw it, I was like, oh my god, this looks horrendous. But I looked at the artwork and I thought, oh, the artwork looks nice. Like, the artwork looks really nice, actually. And then I started playing it and I loved it. I loved Pandaria. Such a good expansion. One of those ones that turned my head, and I was just like, oh, maybe I was wrong. I prejudged this.
Which does hurt me in hindsight, because I also thought Pandaria was going to be a disaster, so I just didn't buy it. Had
Oh
I
no.
known, had I known the game was about to get fun again.
First tier, I've not done first tier that much. I wasn't interested in first tier, and then I got back into it. Second tier was quite good. One of the really good raids. It was another troll raid, and then Siege of Orgrimmar was fun. I got it was my first time appropriate legendaries that I had, the legendary cloak.
Oh, nice.
So that was fun.
You know, you say Siege of Orgrimmar, and I feel like I may have re-downloaded and played a little bit of that. I did not even like have full tier, but I remember a little bit.
I was
That
raiding with a
sounds
guild called Euphoria at the time, and they were a fun bunch. They were a really fun bunch. I still have some a couple of their members on my Discord, and we speak rarely, but it's nice to know that they're always there all these years later.
yes. I have a couple of my old WoW people like on my Steam list still. Sort of the same. We don't really talk to one another, but it's just like you see the name, you have the memories. It's nice.
I tell you what was really nice. In Burning Crusade, I met a player who we got on really well, and we played through the Burning Crusade, and then he quit in Wrath of Lich King, and I don't think I ever really saw him again until one day in Warcraft Classic, a year or so ago. I'm running along on my little warrior, and I see this dwarf running towards me with his name, and I just said, "Jamie, is that you?" And he replied with, "Dead name, is that you?" I was like, well, kind of." Like,
Story about
but
that, but functionally,
yeah,
yes.
story about that, and like he was immediately cool with it, and there was like, "Oh, there's a couple of us from the old days in this guild. Come and join this guild," and it's been really great. Like, I played Warcraft Classic with them in that guild, and it was fantastic.
My heart feels so warm right now. That's so.
I know, it's great. It's nice that we just got back in touch after all these years. Like, it was a bit like 15 years.
Oh
And
my
we just
god.
walk past each other in game. Like, is that are you who I think you are? Yeah. So
Yeah,
really cool.
just the absolute randomness of it. I
I
love
know,
that.
right? The fact that we ended up on the same server, and then he quit Warcraft Classic for a little while, and the last thing he said was, "I remember the first guild I ever joined was a guild called Sea Turtles Mate," and I was so humbled because I was the guild leader of that guild.
Oh.
It was great.
Oh my god.
Right, I think I'm going to wrap it up now.
This looks absolutely awesome, Claire. I'm so proud of what you've done here.
If I don't do it before next week, I guess next week might be colouring this one.
That's awesome.
I can't wait.
You've captured her exactly how I would have imagined.
Ah, that's good. Well, everyone, thanks for joining and contributing to the chat and just generally being here. I'll see you all
Absolutely.
hopefully next week.
Sounds good. Take it easy.
You too. Bye, everybody.
Catch you next
Bye.
time.
Bye.